when a PvP game developer creates a team or creates a character, they have a vision for what that character will do in the game, how the character will affect the meta, and change the game as a whole. And throughout, the months that we've got with Demon releases, I think that this is what they envisioned would be the Demon team, like the complete Demon team that people would actually be rocking PvP, and I'll explain why, and why this is not really it. This, I think, is what they intended to be the top Demon team for PvP, with the release of Estarossa and all the subsequent releases with Chandler, and also Zeldris. This is, I think, what they were expecting people to run, or maybe this. Maybe this, I think, could also be what they were expecting, because Zeldris actually does have a pretty good card, being this one. And this would actually allow you to use all three of the new outfits, which also ties in with what I wanted to say. They didn't give a new outfit to Trader Meliodas, but they did give the three matching outfits to Assault Melee, Estarossa, and Zeldris, which may not mean much, but when you look at the passive for Chandler, right? The new Chandler, for each debuff on the enemy, you do 10% more damage, up to 30%. Trader Melee can't debuff, right? Chandler can't debuff. And, Zeldris can, but he applies one debuff on the enemies. So, I think what they were expecting people to run really was... yeah, he has Chandler on... Okay. I'll just do this then. I think what they were expecting people to run really was Assault Meliodas, because then you can actually more reliably apply debuffs. Because, the only other debuff you're applying is goddamn encroachment, which, listen, by the time the enemy is encroached, they're dead. Like, there's no need for more damage. If the enemy is encroached, that 10% more damage for the enemy being debuffed is not going to make a difference. They're dead. Like, it's over for them, right? So I think that this is what they're expecting. You get attacked 3 times in the first turn, maybe, right? You debuff the enemy 3 times with the defense lowers, and then you do 30% more damage, plus, of course, the added bonuses of darkness. So, like, Chandler here has 3 debuffs. Unfortunately, I kind of don't want to attack with Assault Melee because I'm going to lose my buff. But hey, might as well go for it. Oh, I'll attack twice with Chandler right now. Or maybe they do want you to run Zeldris in the front over Chandler. But honestly, Chandler's Pierce card is pretty decent. I mean... Oh, almost killed. You're still getting the Pierce from the back using Chandler, which is actually what a lot of people have been using. I've been seeing a lot of players at the top rocking this Chandler in the back and Zeldris in the front with Trader Melee for a more offensive build than, for instance, using Blue Chandler, which is what most good players have been using, right? Most of the top players, including me when I played top 100 last season, what we were actually using was Blue Chandler, because although, yes, they released this new Chandler, they released a new Zeldris, we're only really using the new Zeldris. And the only reason we are using the new Zeldris is attack lower. Like, the blue Zeldris, the new ones here, look, that damage increase might have helped. Darkness plus Chandler's damage increase plus Pierce. Oh, I wish I had targeted Meliodas here. Oh, it did. Okay. It did instantly. With the old Zeldris, right, if you have the Relic, which all top players will have, you do lower the attack-related stats by 10%, which is really good. It's better than the new Zeldris passive. Lowering base attack, right? Like regular attack by 18% is worse than lowering attack related stats by 10%. But you don't get that lower on the first turn. Because you are playing at such a high level, you expect to go second. That's why I'm actually not using food. I'm not using food here. I'm using wine food because I actually kind of want to go second here. You want to go second, right? So you're not having that debuff yet, except if you are using assault melee, if they attack you, right? But by the time, for example, you get your first attacked. So for instance, if you're facing a Brynhilder like this one, they're probably going to attack first with Brynhilder. Not, they're going to be using a better team than this, but they're going to be attacking first with Brynhilder, which means you're going to get taken all that damage with no attack lowering effect whatsoever. So I think what they, you know, were thinking of was more on the lines of, you know, use the blue Zeldris for the attack lower in the first turn. But if you are going to go first against green Zeldris, I think that they kind of want to give us two options. But with the new Chandler, it's like the old Chandler is so much better for both an aggressive player and a passive player. Which, if you are a top player, you have to be passive. It's just how the meta is. If you are a top player, there's no aggression. Like, being aggressive does not win you games. Being passive wins your games. It's just how it is, right? Especially when you're facing all the AIs that have more CC than you. They are going to do so much damage turn one. Chandler lowering their stats is so huge, right? So, yes, this might be the team they envisioned. But realistically, you're better off picking apart some characters here. I love Assault Melee. But, listen, he gets so cocked by Astarosa. Like, did they even think about that? How cocked Assault Melee has been by Astarosa? Like, he really destroys him, losing a buff every single time he attacks. It almost makes him unrunnable. And maybe I'm tripping with the debuffs. It's more about the debuffs than the costumes, by the way. The costumes, of course, running them three together looks really cool. And I'm really happy Assault Melee finally got his costume. But for me, it's more about the debuffs part of Chandler's passive that I'm thinking that Assault Melee is what they intended for you to use, right? Because unless they really want you to use Zeldris in the front with maybe Sauriel Link on Zeldris, but even then, you're not proccing 3 debuffs, right? You're just not proccing 3 debuffs. If you have, unless you get 2 AoEs, which, well, they could have given this Zeldris 2 AoEs, right? 2 debuff AoEs. Imagine how good that would have been for this Zeldris if he had 2 debuff AoEs. He had the same that he has right now, which is great, right? And then he also had freaking, I don't know. What's a good AoE debuff that's level 1? I don't know. Let me change that, okay? I'm gonna swap to the most aggressive team possible, which is just rocking Triller Melee, right? Because then you have 2 Pierce cards. And just go with this, because I mean, there's I could run Zeldris in the front, but then I won't have 2 Pierce cards. Right? Having the 2 Pierce cards is crazy DPS. I just don't understand why they gave the old Chandler such a good Holy Relic, because it almost makes his Chandler useless. Okay. I'll prefer facing someone than not using Rimuru, because I would like to see like a full power Brynhilder here. Because I actually have never faced a full power Brynhilder using this Chandler. I don't think. Yeah, full power Brynhilder would have killed him. Like, he would have been dead. He's probably dead here. No, he attacked Astarosa. And, okay, if I had blue Chandler, I'm telling you, Estarossa would have like this much health. It's crazy, the difference. Do I kill him? He's disabled. And then the following turn, I would have so much more health. Oof. The attack related stats lower is pretty bad. Oh, you know, I should have attacked Brynhilder. I forgot he's not using the N here. If you're facing a player of the, I mean, if I was facing a player of the N, my Estaros would be dead in the first turn. He would have already been dead, right? Because they must know that if you're playing competitive, you're not going first. Against like a top team like this, you're not going first, you're gonna go second. So what is Chandler supposed to do? I don't understand. Especially compared to the new one, right? Oh, I'm dead here because Brynhilder attack low is too strong. Look at how little damage it does. I mean, and you see the debuffing part is so useless because debuffing the enemy increases your damage by 10%, and you saw I went from doing 94,000, I applied one more debuff to them, and then the second attack did 95,000. That's 10% more damage with one more debuff. It's so useless. Now the triple cosmetic team here. Oh, I forgot to swap Green Sauriel to Zeldris for more debuffs. I don't need more debuffs, to be fair. I'm already gonna have Melly's debuffs. But you know. See, I'll be way more confident if I have Blue Chandler here. And when facing Merlin, Green Zeldris is better. I mean, obviously, you'd have type advantage, but I'm not even, or type neutral, sorry, but I'm not even saying like that. Because the attack goes in before the damage, like the debuff goes in before the damage. I'm just dead here. Yeah, again, if I had Chandler, Master Zelf would be like this. It's so, the difference is insane. I genuinely have nothing I can do here. I have nothing I can do here. How much more damage are they doing? Because debuffs and Pierce. That's not that much. It's a weird point where I'm not tanky enough because I don't have Blue Chandler to help me tank, and I'm not doing enough damage to, you know, be good enough at turn 2, which the Demon team wants to be turn 2. If it's a competitive team, you're going turn 2. Now looking at the versions using like the most recent characters, so I'm using Zeldris in the back of court. Using Zeldris in the back of course, giving us the Pierce buff. And if we can start off with the double AoE Pierce is great. So like, you feel like you need to go first. If you're using a team like this, you really feel like you need to go first, or you're gonna be in a big disadvantage. With Chandler, the other one, you can just do whatever. You can use like dodge food if you're not playing, you know, top 100. Or you can just use even like HP food. You just be tankier, right? And you can win that way. So many people are rocking mono greens because they think everyone's going to be rocking Estarossa, and then they face other mono greens, or they face Reinhardt and they just get clapped. It's hilarious, but you feel like you do need to go first, which is why I don't really like this. I don't really like how they built this Chandler and the Zeldris, and I kind of wish that they built them more like they did the other units, the old ones, but we'll see. With them being so exclusive, it's kind of annoying. Can't really think of like any other ways of running them. They play one way, and that's how you're gonna run them. I'm just gonna make sure that you die, Merlin, because I don't want to deal with attack ceiling and stuff. If I had another AoE for Chandler, it would have been quite nice, but oh look, she has so many debuffs, extra damage, which didn't matter because she was already encroached anyways. It's she was encroached. Like, what was she gonna do? You know. Let me know what you think of the current modern demon team. Of course, I think still the best is using Blue Chandler, but that might be biased because I just love Blue Chandler. And with so many mono greens, it's like you need your team to be tanky, right? Or you're just gonna get eviscerated. So demons are in a particular position where they, I think, are still the best team in the game, but they can't really deviate too much. They have the specific characters, and if you want to play a different style, sure, but you're gonna get kind of countered by so many other things, right? If you use Assault Melee and the other channel, like I said, you face a Reinhardt, those red characters are gonna obliterate your green character. So, yeah. Although demons are still the top, so.